Hello, hello.
Hello.
What's going on?
It's not much. It's
You got it?
yeah,
You good to go?
not really. But I can hear enough.
You need to turn it up.
Yes, I'm trying to turn it up now.
The side, the volume on
I
the
do
side.
apologize.
The volume
My
on the side.
audio person didn't set everything up correctly.
Is that a thing? Because somebody took sweet time doing extra stuff, knowing they needed to be prepared.
Yeah, I know, and that's my fault. So, but we can begin whenever you're ready. I just for some reason my sound is not working all that well, but
You mean you can't hear me at all?
I can barely hear you.
Can you just turn the volume up on the side?
I've already tried that.
Okay. I'm gonna take me out. Just give me a second.
Okay. Oh, my son gave me a lollipop, so that's a good sign. That means it's going to be a good evening where he doesn't come in here. Oh, what am I thinking? He's going to come in here and grab this lollipop. But I can barely hear anything. And normally it's big.
It said it's working.
Yeah, but you're very low. I'm not turning it all the way up. Right here. All right. That should work.
Forgive us, y'all. Technical difficulties back here. Captain Extra.
See why that's so small?
I don't know. I don't know how to work this right now.
Okay.
You just have to own it.
Okay, I'm going to own it. Technology these days. I'm not sure how to.
Okay, so back to it. Today, I wanted to talk about how we let our past affect our present, right? How we allow what happened to us in the past, or we take what has happened and we think we're teaching people as a life lesson. But in reality, what you're really doing is pulling people back into where you were, not where you currently are. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. I'll let you talk because I'm having some difficulties. It's the same problem. So
You can't hear me?
but I just hear you. But don't worry, I have a fix for that. But I think I caught what you were saying about how you let your past.
Allowing what happened in your past. Like, so say people, how they be like, oh, my mom,
My dad was alcoholic.
my mom struggles, so I'm going to struggle.
Prison.
Yes. We take on, or we say, we tell our kids, oh, you know what? I had to trump 10,000 miles and I didn't get no new shoes and you want new shoes. That has nothing to do with your current, right? I mean, is that hitting somewhere?
Yeah, it is because just the other day, well, not the other day, but I guess a couple of weeks ago, when our daughter was talking about how she wants the big house across the street. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Do you know what kind of house I grew up in? I can't believe you had the nerve to say you want that house up. And is that right in line with where we're going?
Exactly.
And with that,
mm-hmm.
I brought that example up or that situation up to one of my family members. And he actually thought that we were setting her up for failure. I know. And I was like, no, I don't think so. Because if you put that in their mind, you're actually holding them back. So you want them to be able to dream for everything. If they want a big house, let them go for it. You don't hold them back by saying you can't have that, which I was doing. But the more I think about it, and the more we talk, the more motivational videos I listen to with celebrities and everything talking about it's good to use your past for an example. Hey, never forget where you come from, whatever. But
Yes.
don't let that hold you back and tell others, oh, you can't do it because, I grew up in this. You should be appreciative of what you have. Not to say they're not, don't appreciate what they have.
But
it's just that you don't keep bringing that up.
They hold on to it. And by holding on to that, oh, okay. So what the heck? Oh, you going on something else? Okay.
Yes.
So I remove you now. Ready? You're not ready because it's still scrolling.
I'm sorry.
So here's the deal. Everybody wants to say that, like, even when we met, when I used to tell you, you were so attached. Oh Lord, hold on, y'all. I don't know. He just went away.
I'm in the show.
But I can't see you. You're just black. You need to unhook the other camera. Listen, this is the exact thing I'm talking about. When this person on the on the other side always want to take his sweet baby time to do.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Can everybody hear me? Because I am sorry. Yes, I was taking my time because I was doing too much. As my wife.
Oh Lord, he done fell off, y'all. he oh no, he's back at the stream. Okay. You
yes.
there? Yeah, oh, but you're still dark.
I'm working it because I'm good like that.
Okay. I can't do it.
Yeah, I've come a long ways.
Listen, so he's saying that he always does too much. It's too, for me, we getting off topic, but doing 100 things when you have something else to do gives me anxiety. And I know a lot of people, like even coming up or coming in the, being in the military for a little bit, I didn't know that I had anxiety. I didn't know that's what it was, because I'm like, you stressed out, your heart start pumping, and you start like, oh my God, I'll be late. This man, he don't care about nobody's late, nobody, nothing. He just be strolling.
What do you?
But you doing too much and then being late for something because you done too much. Anyway, back to the topic, right? So that mindset that people have, that people say you shouldn't do your children all this, you shouldn't do this for your children, shouldn't do that for your children, you shouldn't do this. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to for my children without blinking an eye about what anybody else thinks, because that's my prerogative. Because I am not going to sit there and struggle how my mother was raised, how she grew up, how she came up, the things she had when she had us, ain't got a damn thing to do with me, because I'm in a different position than what she was, because I did not hold on to what back then what she had. And I'm gonna tell you, my mother has never said you can't have that because I didn't have that. Not once did she say that. So for me, I grew up knowing that we had everything we needed. Did we have extra? Maybe not, because she was by herself. But when I decided to have children, I said I was not going to have children early because of the fact that I wanted to be prepared. I didn't want to have to worry about stop paying this bill so I can pay this bill, so my children can have this extra thing. No, that wasn't something I wanted to do. So I made a decision to change my thinking and know that regardless, if my child says, I want these shoes, if we ain't gonna be ridiculous, but reality, we're going to do what we need to do to get what we need. But for people to sit there and say we're setting our children up for failure because we like nice things. And I'm gonna tell you, we work damn hard. I'm no longer working, we don't work hard to do things. We do it the easy way now. We're creating, but I work hard for what I have. And nobody, your thoughts, your opinions, you can keep them to yourself, because you don't get to dictate how I raise my children. You may want to look at how you're raising yours, because of the fact that you're holding them back from achieving what they can have, because your limiting beliefs are limiting your children. So everybody, there's another thing that just came up for me. When we say, we judge another mother, we judge another father, right? We look at this one. I'm gonna tell y'all, when I first had Brianna, I want to say she was maybe 2. I'm not sure. She had a doctor's appointment on the base that we were stationed at. We were in Vilsec, and her babysitter was on Graf, so I had to drive. It was like 20 minutes, almost 30, to get her to come back because her doctor appointment was on our base. So wait, let me fast forward. I was at the PX one time and I saw this man. It was winter. I saw this man. He was buttoned down. He had his coat on. He was warm. His son gets out the car and his son got on
Shorts and a sweater.
shorts and some cowboy boots. And I don't know if I can't remember if he had a long sleeve. But I'm looking at this man like, are you for real? Like, you all nice and warm, but your child like strolling behind you with no clothes on in the winter. Okay, now fast forward to my story, right? Get in the car, get Brianna in the car. And she was in the phase where once she sat in the car, she didn't want to sit there. She didn't want to do nothing. She didn't want to nothing. So she screamed for 20 to 25 minutes, however long it took us to get there. We get to the base, and as soon as I parked the car, because our appointment, of course, I like to be on time. I don't want to be stretching time, right? So I had like maybe an hour and a half for her actual appointment. As soon as we parked, she stopped crying. I said, you little heifer, I done drove 25 minutes with you screaming like bloody murder, like somebody was killing her in the back. We get out the car and I went to go put on her coat and she didn't want to put it on. Now, mind you, I had already driven 25 minutes with a screaming child. Now she don't want to put her daggone coat on. It's cool. I'm not going there. This is not the battle I'm going to have today. So we get out, we walk to the building, and one of the girls that work with me, she screams out her window and was like, "You're not going to put a jacket on that baby?"
You didn't tell me this story.
I looked around. I was disgusted. I said, if you feel as though she want a coat, then you bring your behind out your damn car and put it on yourself. Because at this point, this ain't my problem. And I walked away because how damn dare you? You don't even know what I went through. Like, borderline
We're
going.
so quick to judge people because, we don't really know the situation.
We are so quick to judge that we don't stop for a moment and think about what the hell did this mama just go through on her, however long it took her to get where. What, girl, do you need some help? That's what your words need to be. Like, hey, you good? You good? I mean, that instance, I'm telling you, like, some days I'm just like, no. I used to be that person, like, you brought your kid out like that? How dare you? But now I'm like, girl, you okay? Because I know I was struggling. And I just had one. You bring 2 into the mix? Jesus be offense, because these children, just like today, RJ, I told him he could not go off the back porch because he had to go take a shower. Well, he left, but mind you, he went back inside. I'm like, oh, cute, he won't go inside. I was being all cute. 2 seconds later, he outside because he done took it upon himself to use other means to get what he wanted. And he walks outside talking about, I'm outside. At this point in my life,
he found a way, so you can't really knock him because
that's what I mean. He found a way to get what he wanted.
And that's good because he's only 3 years old to think like that, to say, hey, instead of mom said I'm gonna go in, okay, so you want to leave out the back door and it's too hot.
I'm gonna get out myself. And for me, I love that, and that's why I just moved. I looked at him. I'm like, for real? This is what we're gonna do? And I just moved on because I've learned that he problem solved. He literally problem solved. You won't help me get what I need. I'm gonna do it myself. I mean, he's done that with several things, like getting the step stool. 3 years old, getting a step stool to climb into the pantry and get him a snack. Now, my whole goal,
it's a little step stool either.
It's a tall step stool. My whole goal in life is to make things easier, right? I have a cabinet. I put the snacks in there. He don't want the snacks that are accessible. He wants the ones that are up top. That ain't really even a snack. He just be pretending, right? So for me, it comes to the point where you say to yourself, how am I limiting me? And in turn, you're limiting your children. You're limiting what they do. Just like, we have conversations and he tells me he wants to do something. I should have did this. It ain't too late. It's never too late to do something new. You have to just be willing to take that chance and do that thing, no matter how big it looks. Because reality, you are only limiting yourself by your thoughts because you block what you're capable of in every situation because of the fact that you don't allow yourself to know that anything is possible. Don't let nobody tell you you can't do that because I don't have that. You can't do that because we didn't do that. It's cool.
Or
to do that.
so I think back on my past, and we've done that several times, even when it doesn't have anything to do with you. But
Yes.
if you're with that crowd, you're like, hey,
Yes.
what are they over there buying? Y'all can afford that? We can't afford that. Girl, that's too expensive. How do you know it's too expensive for them? Beyonce. I'll never forget the story because it was on the news. I think I told you about this. Beyonce had bought a $10,000 pair of pants.
Okay.
And everybody was criticizing her. I can't believe you spend this much for a pair of pants. So she said, okay, if I make $1 million and you make $1,000, is it okay if I spend $10,000 on a pair of pants and you spend $100 on a pair of pants?
Exactly.
What's the difference?
Yep.
Yeah, I got it. It's a lot of money, but is it a lot of money to them? So you can't say that. And I got it. It's like, well, other people don't have that type of money. Well, guess what? You're only holding yourself back. If you want more, do more. If you got to make sacrifice. Like you said earlier, me and you, we made a sacrifice. We deployed. We went in the military. We were away from our family for so long. We deployed all over the world. We had to make a sacrifice. But then I hear people talking about, oh, I didn't feel like going to work today. I just called in. But you wonder why you got laid off.
Yes. Yes. Because in reality, I know it was days I did not feel like going to the job. I don't want to deal with you or you, but I didn't have that option. I didn't have that
Exactly.
right? So when I first joined my mother, I had called her. I will never forget. I said, Mom, this ain't it. I cannot do this. I can't. I said, nope, because I was stationed in Montana. It was cold as hell. She was like, no, you're going to do it. You're going to finish because just because you don't like the place doesn't give you the reasons to not be there. It's just temporary. And that is the thing. We never look at the situation as this is just a temporary step to where we need to go. This is just our temporary. Like people, they hate their jobs, but just like that guy we talked about last week, right? He hates his job. He don't like it. I told him, you know what? Be in that place, but be somewhere else. Mentally be somewhere else. You are at work. You don't have to love your job. You don't. Do the job with that emphasis of this is not where I'm going to stay. I am working to where I'm going to be. This is where I'm going to be. This is just my temporary to get me to that. Because if you don't show your appreciation for where you at, you are not going to get anything better. You are going to continue to have upset after upset because of the fact that you don't like where you are and you just complain every day. Every single time you get something go wrong at work, you mad. That's why I hate this job. Oh, you want some more of hate? You want something else to hate because that's what we're going to give you. Like the universe is listening to you. You always, people do not understand.
And then when it comes time for laying people off, they say, well, Johnny said he don't like this place anyway.
He the first one to go. Hey, Alex.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Alex needs to come on too, because we need to talk about leaving it on the trail and have some of these discussions because I know he has an opinion on all of this. But I was going back to what you said. I had a hard time, and you know that. Yeah. But my mother, she never ever said I couldn't do something. And even though I knew we were poor, she never said I don't have the money. She just said that no, you're not going to eat that right now. You want cereal? You go to sleep early. You have cereal for breakfast. Well, I want it now. Oh well, you go to sleep early.
Yeah.
You get up, you clean the house first, and then you can eat your one bowl of cereal. But she didn't say I'm too poor. she didn't show her kids that how broke she was. No matter what, she made us beans and rice or what have you. We ate.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't what we wanted, but we didn't go hungry. Maybe we didn't get Kool-Aid every day, but I guarantee you we got some Kool-Aid someday. We had a lot of water, but she didn't. In anything that we wanted, she says, "I believe you. You go out there and do it." And then what happens? You get out here in this society, you're around these negative people, and they're the ones that's telling you can't do it.
Yep.
And what age does that start?
So at this point, as children, right? We dream. We have these big dreams, and then it takes this damn adult coming in and crushing that dream. That teacher, that parent, that the person who you allow to influence your child. You, like, you know what I'm saying? Look at yourself and own what you say to your children. It plays a big part in why they continue to do the stuff that they do. Why they go up and like, I can't pass this test. I can't do this. Yes, you absolutely can. Yes, you can. It's like what I told. So I am a big firm believer in I don't have to talk to you if I don't want to talk to you. And I tell my child that. Reginald doesn't agree with me sometimes. I am a very firm believer. I will not pretend to make you happy. So Brianna came home one day and she told me that one of the little girls said your hair is different. She told me, yeah, I said in my head, yeah, I know. What do you think I don't know? And for me, it's like people always feel like they have an opinion, right? Then she came over the next day and she told me that one of the little girls said, how come you always laugh? And I told her, I said, you let her know it is your prerogative to laugh. If you want to laugh, then damn laugh. You don't have to be dictated by somebody else and what they think you should do. If you think something's, a lot of people have that defense mechanism of, oh yeah, or she's like, but who are we to judge how somebody else reacts to something, right? Because I know I've done it before, like, why are you laughing? But in reality, that ain't like
your face so shows it all, though. Your face.
Did I say something funny? But it's in reality, it's like we all have our own like thought process of things. Like, I didn't think that was funny. Why are you laughing? Like, but nobody gets to tell you that you can't laugh. And I've learned that it took a long damn time. And I feel as though that people need to learn to be better and do better, because in reality, that's what you want from somebody else. You want somebody to allow you to be you. Because the minute you sit down and you say, oh, let's look at being in relationships, right? We come into this relationship and ask yourself, because I've always asked him, the person I met, is that who you are or who you are pretending to be? Because it's like 1 minute is one thing and the next, and that was in the beginning of a relationship. And now it's like, we have worked on us and getting to be better and do better. But I'm gonna tell y'all, it was not fun in the beginning. It was not. It was destruction, like destruction on earth. And he could pretend to act like he went in that same place with me. And we were together. Destruction together. Somebody wants to be a part of it.
I think that's any relationship.
Yes. And
or most relationship. And it's just trying to figure out who each, who. I'm not going to get in trouble tonight. I just know that much. So I'm not going to say much about that. But I know it can be a challenge because you're trying to get to know that person. You want that person to really like you. But that doesn't mean you should be so. You got that finger up. Then I'm done talking right now. But yeah, I'm not getting in trouble tonight.
I didn't pretend to be somebody else. I didn't pretend. I was always me, and there was no there was no line you could draw and say, oh, she was only pretending because she was trying to be a relationship. Okay, please stop. You're not funny.
Yeah, I don't think it would. Definitely not pretend. But you think that surely she's not that strong. Surely she.
I mean, ask yourself, did I change from who I was to who I am now?
Oh no, Oh no, you definitely didn't. You still hold people accountable, and you still intimidate people, and the way you carry yourself, you're going to be you.
You
And
did.
I know you get that from your father because he did me that way, and I know that for. Uh, and I think what he told me, I seen it in you, was that he said if you're paying for something, you made that money, you get what you want.
Yep.
And I'll
100%.
never forget that because a lot of times we do pay for something. If the food's cold, you're like, don't say nothing, babe. I'm just gonna
Oh
eat it.
my God. Yes. Yes.
And I'm like, and you're like, no, you're taking it back. Excuse me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, I'll just eat it. No, that's your money you're paying for.
I will never settle for anything less than I deserve. And if I'm paying
Yeah,
for
sell me for less than you do, and that's everything.
I will absolutely not take this little thing. Like, oh yeah. So I don't know who I was with, but one time I ordered food. It may have been you. I ordered food and it came out, it was not what I wanted. And I mean the food took a very long time to come out. They were like, oh, you can go ahead and fix my food. We can continue to do what we do, and I'm just gonna take it to go. Because at
Which
this
time was this?
I don't remember. I don't remember. It was just the food came out wrong twice for me. I'm not sure if it was with you or with somebody else, but
Well, this happened several times. You know that.
yeah. So the food came out, and his and everybody's response is, "What if they spit in your food? Then that's rude. But you can't expect me not to send something back if you didn't do it the way I ordered it. I will not half step for nobody. And that's with everything in life. If I want something and I say, I'm going to spend my money on this, you're going to give me exactly what I want. Exactly. So it's not okay. Stop it now.
And
Now.
I didn't play Roblox. And not only that, you're being true to yourself because if you don't speak up, what are you going to do? You're going to sit there because I know I've done it several times. Dave, man, that food, I can't believe I ate that food. It was cold. I didn't like it. You're like, I told you to take it back, didn't I? I can't believe I'm never going to eat there again. I spent $30 on this meal.
Yep.
And it's almost like
Stop.
the minute you lower your standard, that becomes a new standard for you.
That's it right
So
there.
don't lower your standard for anyone, no matter how someone feels. I'm not saying you have to go out there and hurt anyone's feelings, but you just got to know that whatever you want in life, that's on you. Don't let anyone try to tell you, oh, don't do this or don't do that. Don't eat that food or eat that food. Don't complain.
Yes.
It's like, but it's your money. You worked hard for that, and I've learned that because I've been the one who says, you know what, I'm just gonna eat it. Hey, don't say nothing. This is embarrassing, but it's true. If you let it slide once, it's going to happen again, again, again. And all you're doing is getting frustrated. Next thing you know, you're taking your frustration out on someone else. Like, man, what's wrong with you? Man, I just ate at this restaurant and this and that. And such. Did you say anything? No. It's just like, and I know I'm running my mouth a lot, but I think about promotion. People complain about not getting promoted, not getting promoted. And then you didn't care until somebody else got promoted. Someone that you thought that you outperformed, they got promoted. And now you want to say something? You should have said something then.
Yep. Yes.
But that's how, until you decide to change and say, you know what, I'm good, no matter what anyone says, I'm going to be the best that I can be. The problem that people always compare themselves to others, and that's where you're wrong. That's where you start to not excel or succeed as you should.
Yes, because you're trying to fill somebody else's shoes. And
Exactly.
to go back to, not conforming, that goes with a relationship too. Because if you like things a certain way and the person that you're with is constantly telling you, don't like that, that's not what you like, that's not what you do, that's not your person. Let's be honest. That
Don't
right
do your hair like that.
is not your person. Because here's the deal. I've always said this. When when I'm in a relationship, when I say I don't like something, it's not to change that person. It is not to change. It's to tell you, don't do that crap again because I don't like it. Don't do it to me. Do it to somebody
Do it
else.
to anyone else. Just don't do it to you.
Not do it to me. And
But people take it the wrong way too. They start thinking, well, if she don't like it, I'm not going to do it to someone else because I know that in general, like, no, because I've done you like that. You're like, or you don't like it this time. So a year later or 6 months later, I'm not doing it. You're like, why aren't you doing it? Wait. Well, how come you didn't open my car door? Well, because last time you opened your own car door, and then so So,
I can't do
like,
what you
no, I'm just saying, these are the kind of things I was reading. So, like, wait, you told me 3 months ago
I got
that you
it.
don't want me to open your door. So now I don't understand.
So for me, I want to say, right? Like people, here's the deal. When we decide, right, like the judgment. So you did something a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and I say I don't like it, but then you just stop. And
Yes.
when you do it again,
Because it's like it's almost
the
like if
response.
you're in a relationship, you should be able to know them and know what they like and don't like.
So
But
here's the deal. It comes to a learning, right? Learning curve. So if you ask me a question and I respond a certain way,
mhm,
and that situation comes like again, you don't come back and ask because you think it's going to happen again. You have now
yes,
judged me and not allow me to grow because you assume that I'm going to have the same reaction I did the
that's
first
right.
time
That's
because
right.
of the fact of how it is. But that is
That's
unfair
right.
to everybody involved because sometimes your predicament dictates how you react, right? Your situation determines how you react. So say you decide to want to change your hair color.
Uh-huh.
In that moment, that's how you're feeling. But you want to change. But everybody want to know why you change your hair color. Why you do this? Because it's my prerogative. I want to do this because I want to do it. Right? It's like, no, that's like RJ. He tells me well, he wants to go see the things in the neighborhood, right? Today, this morning, I'm thinking, oh, we're gonna do our regular normal routine. He tells me, I already seen it. I don't want to see it again. Oh, excuse me, sir. Okay, but it takes me not crushing him, like, okay, like, then just don't do it again. But I'm gonna continue to do it because in time he may want to do it again. But it
Mhm.
comes to a point where we block. We are blocking ourselves and our children. I'm going to say it again. We are blocking ourselves and our children with our limiting beliefs that we can only have certain things. You are not limited to what you have. You can have and achieve anything you want. If today you want to be an architect, it is not too late. If today you want to be an artist, it is not too late. Nobody can tell you, nobody can dictate what kind of artist you're going to be, what kind of architect you're going to be, what kind of dancer you're going to be. And if you don't know how to dance, just start. That's the point of it. You just have to start. Do not let anybody else tell you you can't do anything.
And it goes to surrounding yourself with those positive people, even if they're your family members or you think they're your best friends or what have you, and you tell them that you want to do these things, and end up telling you, "Are you sure you shouldn't do that?
Yeah.
No, you should do this, and you should do that."
Yep.
And you're like, "Oh man, you're right. What was I thinking?"
Are you? Yeah. Like, oh, it's you.
And you doubt yourself, and that's why it's best not to tell anyone. Don't
So
tell anyone.
a lot of people, that the statement you just said, a lot of people it's a controversy, right?
Yeah.
Because they say, oh, then you have the wrong people around you if you can't tell them your dreams. Yes, okay, you do. But what if you can't take yourself out of that bad situation right now? Keep your mouth shut. It's a real thing. Like, you don't have to share your dream. You don't have to share your aspiration because if every time you tell somebody this is what I want to do and they crush your dream because they are limited, you and them. Your limited don't stop me from doing what I need to do. Your limited beliefs don't stop me from continuing to show up and show out for myself because that's what it boils down to. We continue to allow, and it's a society. We allow people to dictate who we are.
Mhm.
You don't get to tell me who I am. You don't. Nobody does. I don't. From the rooter to the tutor, you cannot tell me what to do just because you don't like it or you don't think that you can do it. If I want to wear sparkles all over my face and go to the supermarket, I'm wearing sparkles and I'm going to the supermarket. Nobody should ever tell you you just going to the supermarket. You don't got to wear that. I'm gonna wear whatever I want. It don't matter. It don't matter the time of day. If I choose to be fancy today, I'm gonna wear a ball gown.
And that partner of yours should be able to support you while you're doing that.
Hey, walk
Are you
proud with
wearing veils on your shoes and sparkles on your
walk,
face?
walk proud with me. Look, before he made him not, he'd be like, I'm gonna wait right here.
I'm gonna wait in the car for you. Go ahead.
I got a phone
I'm
call.
gonna take pictures while you're walking into the store.
Like, y'all see this girl out here? And I refuse. Like, and that's what I said last time. Refuse to be different. Refuse to show up. If somebody says, "Don't wear that," why not? It's got a hole in it? It's got a stain? Because that's the only reason why I shouldn't wear it. But if you want to wear holy anything, then wear it. But don't let anybody tell you you cannot.
And that's why somebody always feel uncomfortable when they're in public because they're not being who they are. It's like, and then somebody else see it, girl, what are you wearing? Oh, I was gonna wear this. Why you didn't wear that? Because I was listening to Shanae over here telling me that I don't look cute, and that and not only that, when you put something on like, no, because this happened to us a few times. Hey, what you wearing tonight? Hey, we're all going out couples night. Just wear some jeans. That's it. We show up in jeans. What they wearing?
They dress
Business casual. They up in some slacks. You're like, and we looked at each other like.
But I mean, I showed up cute regardless of my jeans. But
Yeah, you did.
Downplay you for to make themselves look better.
Exactly.
And that's where it takes you standing in your power and not letting anybody downplay you. And that's with every single thing in your life. Do not let anybody. Now, here's another thing. People will constantly. So say we have the same idea on something. Somebody will rush to try to do it before you because now it's a competition. Yeah. Here is what I want to tell everybody.
But it was your idea.
Yes. If they feel as though they want to steal what you want, what you had going on, let them go because they're going to fail. And if they succeed, it's not going to last long because it's stolen and it's not their own idea. So now they're going to be seeking other ways to create what your idea was. We all have our own talents. We all have our own gifts. And I know I've unfriended people, not been friends no longer. We don't have to have a conversation because you don't have a mind of your own. And I can't be friends with you because you can't think for yourself. I can't be your decision maker and everything. And then I was friends with this girl. And I mean, when I tell y'all, it was down to everything. And she would do it like slickly. Like, we'd be here one day, I wear these pair of shoes. Next day she show up with them same damn shoes. And I'm like you think to yourself, like, did she have them shoes already? Okay, no. I mean, the girl went out and got the same car as me. But she got the basic model. She didn't get the upgraded model, but she got this, the same make, right? And I looked and I'm like, okay. So you push past it because you're like, this, you crazy. It ain't about you. This ain't about you. So I had told her, the next car I wanted was it was an upgraded car. It was like an SUV. Do you know that Heifer went out and bought it before me?
Because you told her.
Because I told her what I wanted, the things I wanted.
Yes.
So you learn the hard way. But like we talked about last week, if I'm giving you a blueprint, yes, there's 6 ways to go. I'm not telling you which way to go, but this blueprint will help you along your way. Stop allowing people to destroy you because of the fact that they expect you to do things. When you say, don't do that, why not? That's what you should ask. Why not? I mean, start investigating. Like, don't just let somebody say, don't do that, don't wear that, don't change that. Investigate. Like, what's wrong with it? What bothers? I know that's the coach in me, right? Question.
Yeah.
What bothers you about that? Why do you feel I shouldn't wear this? But in reality, it's not anybody else's place to tell you how to do what you need to do.
And it's hard to let those people go too. That's always been a part of your life, or you were, well, as I always say, you were deployed with them. You fought next in combat with them, and you're like, and you told me, hey, this person right here, they just keep using you. We're supposed to go to speaking together and do this big conference, and he wanted me to be on his team, part of the contract, and you were telling me he's using you. You're like, no, we've been through so much together. Here I am providing all the information, He's using my information.
He wrote a
You
book.
told me several times.
Wrote a book with the
Yeah.
information he gave him. But yet then at the time, he looked at me talking about,
I can't do that. I can't.
why? That's mean. That's rude. I'm sorry. That's not rude. We are not in the business of giving people that continue to take. And I mean, that's take how y'all want to take it. At this point, I don't really care. But it includes your family. It does. It's from the top to the bottom. It includes every single person you choose, because we choose to keep people in our lives that continue to take and destroy us while they build themselves up. And in reality, you get nothing out of that destruction except what you could say, oh, I was nice to them. What? You okay? You were nice. I mean, is that a thing? Because I just need to know, is being nice more important than you and your sanity? Than you and you being who you truly are to yourself, stepping into your power and owning what you do. Oh, Jesus. So it comes to where you decide, because we have to decide. Do you continue to want to take on somebody else's mess? Right? Because that's what we do. We
And
take
if they truly love you, they truly care, you wouldn't. They should be supporting you, and you should never have to worry about, or they should never have to worry about you cutting them out of their life, because you're supporting me. No matter what somebody wants to do, you need to find that support system.
Yeah.
No matter what, and it's hard for people to see that, because I hear it so much. We all hear it so much. Well, I can't do that. It's my brother, it's my mother, it's my cousin, it's my best friend. We always grew up together. It's like, well, do you want to continue to hold yourself back because they don't want to grow too?
Yep.
And when they see that you're growing, what they say, new level, new devil, when they see you growing, then it's almost like they don't want to be left behind, so they try to hold you back.
Yep.
When they should say, you know what, I'm proud of you. I'm here. How can I help you get to that next level? Because if you help that person get to the next level, the blessing will come to you as well.
But people don't know that. They don't know that. It's something that was taught from young. People don't understand. You are taught the things that you, and even if your mama didn't come out and say, don't like that person, don't do that.
Yes.
You mimic what they do. You're mimicking what everybody does, because you feel as though that you gotta be nice, right? You gotta let people take advantage of you. You have to, right? Because that's the right thing to do. Just be nice. Because that's what Reginald, he'll tell me, he was like, babe, do you gotta be so mean about it? Like, could you just say it this way?
Just say, no, thank you. You're like, if they can't, I'm sorry, because I have so many stories in my head, because I was brought up different. And I say, for instance, when we went to the store and the guy couldn't do the engraving or whatever it was, and he wanted to explain the reason why he couldn't do the engraving. I can't do can't engrave this because my machine is in the shop. You're like, okay, thank you. And you walked out, and I was like, I was still listening to his story or his reason why he couldn't do something. And I'm like, well, let's just listen to him. But you are right. I could say, well, sir, no worries. Hey, don't worry about it.
I said, okay, thank you.
Somebody else, because you're like, we got outside the store, and I said, hey, why did you leave? Wasn't that kind of rude? You're just going to cut him off? And you're like, but he can't do anything for me. I'm about to pay my money for something. He can't come through and pay. Now I'm wasting my time trying to find somebody else to make it happen because I have a deadline. And not only that, I've come to realize that even when you're on if I have a phone conversation with you or something, and I know I need to be at a certain place at a certain time, say like we have an appointment at 2:00 p.m. and it's now 1:30, and these people walk into my office. But here the nice guy's like, well, I need to be somewhere, but I need to hear you out first because I don't want to cut you off. But then you go back and say, well, what about us? What about the people you're supposed to put first? So he's like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. I have to go. You don't even tell him where you're going. I have to go. Because and then like wait, let me ask you something. Like, did you? It is not really being rude. I think people need to understand that your time is valuable. It's not like everything revolves around you, the person who needs something. You have to think about other people and their priorities too. And another thing I always told, because people would get mad because somebody else is not doing their job, but and like, well, why isn't he helping me? I have to do this, I have to do that. No one cares about your job more than you.
Yep.
No one. So no matter what you got going on, there's always somebody out there that's going to want you to do what they're doing and want you to put that a priority.
Yep.
And it's wrong because you know what? It's like, man, I can't believe, and I've done it before. I think, wait, they don't really care about my job.
They don't. They
No,
don't.
all they care about is what's in their little circle. Now, I think good leaders, they look at everyone and they care about everyone. But most people, I would say 90% of people, they only care about what's inside their little bubble.
Yeah.
And it's sad because I used to believe or really think that I knew it was like that, but I was hoping that people wouldn't see it like that. To actually look, and it was hard because I ended up working a lot longer than everybody else because I was concerned about everybody being successful, and they were only concerned about their individual team
Yes.
being successful. And here I am, like, where's everybody at? Oh, they went home, but this is not done.
Yep.
Oh, but they did their little bit of piece.
Exactly.
Okay, well, guess what? In order for all of us to succeed, we all have to come together. We all have to finish. And I've been like that for so long. I've even sat in the Sergeant Major's Academy, doing all the slides and everything. Everybody was gone. A sheriff came up to me and said, Reggie, why are you here? I says, everybody left. They just gave me their products, and I'm building the slides, but nobody wants to make sure. I got so many questions about this. Their PowerPoint slides are not even correct, but they didn't care. All they care about is turn them in and leaving. Just like people concerned about
everything.
Yeah. Now, as I look back, I really didn't, even though I said it at the time, I didn't really do anything about it. Yes, sir. I didn't really do anything about it because I'm like, well, it doesn't fall on me, but it's about me. I'm trying to succeed as an individual, but nobody else really cared.
No, they don't. And that's why I don't like, and I still do it today. If I call a business and they say they can't help me, we're going to shut it down. I don't want to hear why you can't. So, Michael, we started talking about allowing people to pull you when you make pull you back into the past. Like taking your examples of like when you were growing up, you tell your kids now how you struggled, and that allows your children to now take on that struggle because you have now made them think that this is how they have to be. And then we expanded to people just pulling us down and not allowing us to be who we are because of their thoughts. And I'm gonna tell you that I am 100% on the fact that I will not waste my time and energy with anybody who cannot. If I'm paying my money, best believe I'm gonna move on. The minute you say I can't do this for you, cool, we good. Just like we contacted a builder, and he didn't answer the phone for Reginald. He answered the phone for me after I let it ring, and when he answered the phone, he was like, "Yes, we got the number from him, but I don't have to use you. I have choices. I have options. I don't have to do anything. Like if I make a decision to buy something, I'm choosing who I want to do this for because I'm spending my money on you. So don't act like I'm putting you, like even when people are like, oh, I can't help you, but no, but sweetie, you can't help me. I'm gonna move on because there's somebody else that can do the job that you are not capable of doing, and I'm not waiting around for you to explain. I don't have to hear the explanation. I don't. There's no need for me to hear what you have to say, why you can't do something, because the why you can't do it really doesn't matter to me because you already told me you can't do something for me. So and that's with everything in life. We sit here and so you ask somebody to help you with something. You sit there, you wait for that person to help you. How long are you going to wait? How long do you wait when you say, hey, can you help me? How long do you wait? Till they get around to doing what they need? Because their priority isn't yours. So you have this dream, you have this thing you want to do, and you think they because my quotations are up, you think you need that person and that little piece of thing that they're going to give you. You can find somebody else. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Exactly.
There's 1,000 people that have that same damn talent that you holding on to this one person because that's your cousin Pookie and you want to help him out because he got his business. No, absolutely not. I am not holding off what I need, what I got to do for nobody. So if people don't want to support you, it's cool. Do you know how many people are in the world that will support you? And that's the problem. We are so attached to this thought process of negative and this thought process of, oh, I have to use my friend because that's my friend. Friend, I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't going to wait for you to get your life together. I mean, I got a friend, she was helping me with something, and I didn't push her. I figured out how to do it myself. And that's what I do with everything in life. If I don't know how to do something and I need you, I'm going to figure it out without you because you're not going to put me on hold because you don't have you. And it's not that I don't have time. We choose what we want to spend our time with. Just like when people say they don't have time to eat healthy, they don't have time to do better, they don't have time to change their lifestyle. They'd rather just go to Burger King and buy the burger, not actually go home and make a burger. You can have a burger. You don't have to eat Burger King, but you choose. We make choices in life. So we choose what we want to make hard, and we choose what we want to be easy, but we choose what we want to spend our time on. That's what everybody has to understand. People can tell you, oh, I don't have the time. You do, but you don't want to. Be honest. Be like, you know what? I don't want to invest time in you. I don't want to do this right now. Like, no, I'm good.
And what you said is the key about just be honest, because when that happened, I wanted to say something.
Yep.
Did it freeze out?
No, it's we're still here.
But I really think about it, man, I should have said something. I knew when I received this, I should have said something. I was like, you know what, I'll just, it's almost like a lot of people don't say something because they don't want to have a confrontation or something. You don't want to.
You don't have to explain yourself why.
Yeah, you don't want to explain yourself. But just here recently, I listened to motivation speaking, and he was saying that I don't like confrontation. I don't, but I do it to prevent the ongoing confrontation with just whatever it is. So if there's something on your mind, say it then. If there's an issue or problem that you have in your relationship, speak up now, because if you don't, it leads to another thing. And so just put it out there so you can put it to rest.
And you know,
today,
it's about
right now.
It's about finding. Okay, so a lot of people, it's finding the space to do it in, because if you come from a place of anger, that energy that you project with the anger, right? That place you're in, that you know, you get to that sick, like I'm so sick and tired of this. Instead of, you don't just say, you know what, I didn't like that, I don't like it. We need to figure out a way to either make that not happen again or come to a middle. And I know it's like you have to go through it to be able to figure it out. But sometimes if somebody tells you, you know what, speak your truth, be honest with yourself. Don't hold back for nobody. And I'm literally not telling y'all to go out there and be rude, but I'm going to tell you right now, if I say, okay, thank you, I'm going to move on. If you take that as being rude, I'm sorry. That's not what I was trying to do, but I will not waste energy and time because you don't like the way I didn't want to hear you out. I don't have to hear you out. I do not. Like, and it's a difference between a relationship, but you still don't have to hear that person out. Like, we don't have to have a life debate. Like, sometimes I know that our conversation is going to go no way past this, I'm done. Like, I don't want to hear it because you're not listening. I'm not listening. We're not listening. We're not listening together. This is not working out. We are talking at each other instead of listening to each other. So we got to pause and come back and reassess our situation, get our energy back, take a damn breath. Like, that's what it has to boil down to. We got to breathe. I keep saying it. There's something in taking a deep breath and breathing into your situation. Stop allowing the stress to blurt out what you didn't want to come out because you just couldn't say no. Right?
It's like it's running through my head now about you have to take control of your own life, and by that I mean you have to it's easier to change yourself than it is someone else. So if there's something that you don't like, how can you make that change? If you're complaining about, and I always say this, uh, going on post and you're waiting in line and the line is so long, you're so mad, you're yelling at, it, and then when you get up to the gate guard, you want to like, why are you guys taking so long? Well, me being at gate guard, I'm like, well, guess what? An hour ago
Yeah.
at 5 o'clock, we wasn't busy. There was only a single file line. It will take you all of 2 minutes to get the gate, but you didn't want to leave it, an hour ago. If like, so when I was doing my doctorate degree, I was always complaining because my professor wasn't grading what I wanted him to grade. So I made the point to say, hey, besides all your help, but to say, hey, instead of submitting this assignment, I'm now going to turn in my doc study. Because now I'm putting it in my hands, like, I'm going to make you read it now because this is being graded. And he will come back, well, this is not what you're supposed to submit. No, you're right. I'm not supposed to submit, but I am going to submit this because I need you to look at it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things that you can control. You don't like how something's done, then you do it yourself.
And
just like you said with your website. Hey, I need something.
Can you read this? I don't know what he's saying. Ask him. Like, this is not, we're not going to try to figure out what the man is saying. Ask the man. I don't understand and that's with everything. If you don't understand what somebody says to you, why the hell are you trying to pretend you know what's going on? And then you fail because you didn't know what the first thing was. So you're trying to do 10 other things. Ask him. If you do not have an understanding, I'm not sure what you mean because it doesn't make you stupid. It doesn't mean you don't know nothing. I don't know what you're trying to tell me. So I need you to break it down in layman's term, in dumb terms, however you want to take it. Because if you feel you have to explain it differently to somebody and you be like, oh my God, this person can't get it. You're right. I cannot.
Yeah, and then they're mad because they failed the course because they didn't understand the material. You're like, well, did you ask the question?
You just moved it.
And that's for everything. Hey, my wife sent me to the store for this. I come home without the bread and the butter. Well, did you call? Did you ask? It's just like
we make assumptions.
Yeah, you make these assumptions. Well, if I call, and I've done that. Well, if I call, then she's gonna think that I wasn't paying attention. So I'm gonna just, no, that's on you then.
Yeah,
that's on you. You should. It's better to go call, get you out V, and get your bread, get your butter, and move out, and your wife be happy.
Right.
Then to not be happy the whole night, then you're in the doghouse, and that's just a small example. But those are the type of that's what happens.
Here's what I learned, right? So we both we took a trip the weekend before last, right? And we got there, and we both took our stuff to work out, even here, right? So on weekends, Captain Extra over here, he be strolling. Like he don't no care in the world, right? So I made it a point before we left here when we were working. I said, hey, I want to work out in the morning. I'm just letting you know so you're not doing 10 or 100 things before you come back to the house. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, he talked to 10 people. Because he doesn't stop to talk, he doesn't take another extra walk around the block. So I made it clear, hey, when I would like to go run, so please don't take your extra time. We go for a weekend, and I say, hey, I said, what time do you gonna work out in the morning? Because I'm gonna go run. He's like, oh no, babe, I'm good. You just go ahead. I woke up the morning, I got dressed, so I didn't, because he didn't want to go. I didn't wake up as early because I set my alarm for 6:30, but 6:30 came, and I was like, this ain't the day. This ain't the day. Michael, we could talk on. Michael said we should do one of his workouts. I don't know what that means. Well, people say you should do one of my workouts. But anyway.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, so I get up at 7, I get dressed, and I'm done by 7:15. I walk out the room, and I'm looking around. I'm like, you look in every room, and I call him on the FaceTime. He outside getting it. I'm like, what just happened? I said, I thought you didn't want to work out. But see, the old me, right, would have already been pissed because of the fact that we had a conversation and you took it upon yourself to not even say you were leaving. You just thought in your head, let me go quick. But how do you know if you choose to assume what somebody else is going to do, how do you know what that person is doing if you don't have that conversation, right? So I said, I thought you said you didn't want to go to work out. And he's like, oh yeah, but I figured since you didn't wake up, you weren't up, that I would just go and be back before you got up. And I said, but you didn't see me when I was up, so how do you know? But I say this to tell y'all this. When you approach something from a different place, right? Because yes, I could have been annoyed. It didn't take anything away from me because he went to work out first. But it is at the point you need to understand what you do, right? In that situation. If somebody has a conversation with you and you choose to change what you had a conversation about, you can't be upset by how somebody responds to what you did to them. Because in reality, we take our time and we choose to use other people's time and not accept that everybody's time is valuable to them. But once I learned that I don't have any expectations, right? Like you wake up, I get dressed. It wasn't like I had to go run at that specific time. So my response was, I just want to make sure that if I had gotten mad this time, how would you have responded to me because of the fact that you didn't do what we talked about? But he's like, oh no, I'm wrong. I'm gonna come back. And I'm like, no, finish your run, because you at that moment in time he felt he needed his run. But that's with everything in our life. We have a conversation with somebody, we choose to do something, and then when they change, we automatically get upset because of the fact that we expected them, right? Our expectations, we expected them to do what we talked about, but everybody's human, and sometimes things don't work the same in our heads, right? But start looking at things differently instead of automatically wanting to the mad. Start thinking of how I can change my thoughts when I go to work, when I do the different things that I'm doing. How can I show up differently because it's going to benefit me? Yes, you may not like your job. Okay. You may not like where you're at right now in life. Okay. What do you want? Where do you want to be? How do you want your life to look? And it doesn't have to be 5 years. It could be what do you want for yourself? Because right now you're not happy. So get out of that unhappiness by doing what you need to do. You need to take action and at least apply something better to your life. And that starts with your thoughts. It starts with thinking differently. Stop living in the past of where mama used to be, because mama ain't got nothing to do with you, boo. And another thing is, people expect their parents, right, for their parents to take care of them, for their parents to get them where they need to be. All your parents got to do is raise you, give you the essentials. I mean, clothe you, the bare minimum, right? The clothes, because you don't have to have the fancy Jordans. You don't have to have that. That's not in a rule book, right? It's a choice we make as parents to buy the Jordans. But nowadays, there's others. I know somebody gonna be like, "Oh, Jordan's my shoes," but they're better shoes than Jordan. And y'all paying all that damn money for Jordan to just keep recycling his shoes and changing the color and changing the name so he can sell y'all dummies the same shoes 10 times, but y'all got them lined up because y'all spent $5,000 on 3 pair of shoes. Come on, y'all. We got to do better as a whole entire society. I'm not saying take away from Jordan's money, but he sure ain't gonna miss your $300 if you start to invest in yourself instead of investing in him.
Yes.
So Michael said, yeah, that's messed up. You blame your wife because she's always trying to give you milk. Listen, you can't. Obviously she's giving you 1,000,001 directions because you messed up the first 10,000 times.
and then what I would say we do is that we kind of paraphrase it like, this is the only thing I can remember. So
but it's true, y'all spending all this damn money. These kids today spend all this money on Jordans. If you invested that into a stock, and we ain't even gonna go there, right? But if you invested that into something you wanted, how much further would you be in life if you turned that $400 or whatever it is you have? And I'm gonna say this: if you're saving for something and you got bills, you ain't saving. So let's just put that out there. If you are saving, you saving money and you owe this, you're not saving. So get your stuff, get your mind right, know what you want. And we had the, I don't know if anybody on here is in the challenge, but we have the 9-day challenge. And one of the things was create your future self. What do you want in your future? One of the girls said she couldn't do it. She could not do it because from her childhood to now, she has suppressed what she truly wanted and allowed people to tell her she couldn't have it. And it's time to dig deep and really realize what you want for yourself and stop worrying about how it looks to other people, because we spend so much time wasting what we want to do because we think, Susie over here ain't gonna approve. Susie don't matter, y'all. Susie don't. Like, if Susie ain't on board with you, Susie gotta go. I understand y'all been friends for what, 20 plus years? 20 years really don't matter if somebody continue to hold you back. Being my sister doesn't mean you get to dictate what I do or don't do. I being my brother, you don't get to tell me what to do. You don't get to tell me I can't do this or you shouldn't do that. I don't tell you what to do, so why the hell you feel you can tell me what to do? Right? So no, Michael, we just did a 9-day Facebook challenge. We're on day 8. We go, it was I promoted it on my Facebook. It ends tomorrow, but it was all about getting clarity in where you want to be in life and showing up differently. Because everybody, we want to say, with the pandemic, everybody's like, oh, the world is upside down. Y'all take this opportunity to start creating your reality. Take this time to be better in a place where you are building. You don't depend on a job. You don't depend on somebody else to pay your bills. And that's why everybody's struggling, because they don't, all they can see is what mama's telling them what mama did because mama struggled, right? We don't have to struggle like our parents. We don't have to struggle. We can do better. It starts with being better for you and knowing what you want. So for those who don't know what they want, it's time to dig deep and start writing some things down and getting clear on where you want to be, But yeah, so we have been on for over an hour, and I appreciate everybody that showed up and commented. We'll be back. We're not going to come back next week. We're gonna try doing every other week to see how that goes and see how it flows. But if I got something to come to y'all with, we'll be back. So everybody have an amazing night.